Well, day two of the Biden bonanza or Biden Bucks bonanza or more Biden Bucks for everybody. Gosh, he's just writing executive orders and the president can do that. Remember, Trump did that all the time. And so that means he doesn't have to go to the legislature, which is loggerhead with 50-50, and I don't know if we'll ever get anything done down. So he's just sitting down in the White House down Pennsylvania Avenue and grinding out directives that he is able to do. Okay, here's the one today. Okay, this is like day two. He's on the job. And he talks about really the crisis and how families and businesses are affected. And we all know that. It's just getting someone's attention to do something. And it looks like, this is big on his calendar. A lot of people talk about it. And he's actually initially doing something, it seems. We'll see what happens, though. A long way to go on this. But here's what's happening today. And there's things in here that you could start taking advantage of today or soon, and got to figure out how you're going to get it soon. And that's a little murky, but there's ways to do it. I mean, he puts it in writing, it's going to happen somehow. So here, COVID-19 pandemic has forced the United States economy into an economic crisis. We knew that. Across the country, listen to this. More than 10 million Americans are unemployed. 14 million renters are behind in payments. And 29 million adults and at least 8 million children are struggling with food insecurity. Okay, don't forget, there's a new rent program that they put in before Trump went to Mar-a-Lago, and that's now going through the system and should be in your city soon. So look for that. It's an emergency rent program just starting. And if they say they're all out of money, that's an old program. So you got to find the new program. And that's contacting local offices, which could be 211, your local politician, places like this, or your community action agency. That's another one. Okay, let's go back here. Because of perseverance, systematic racism, and inequality in our economy, the burdens of economic crises are hitting communities of color and underserved families the hardest. 1 in 10 Black workers and 1 in 10 Latino workers are unemployed. Navigating through the current crisis and emerging stronger requires immediate action to provide equitable economic relief to working families everywhere. And actually, they did that with the last SBA EIDL. That's the grant, get up to $10,000. Now, that's only that grant part of the emergency money. And by the way, the loan is only 2-3%. So you want to do that anyway. But you get a grant if you're in an economically struggling area. So it depends on your zip code where you get that grant. Last week, Biden unveiled an historic legislative package designed to change the course of the pandemic. In other words, before he was president, he unveiled this package. Get students back to school. Give families and businesses a bridge to economic recovery and invest in advancing racial inequality. This plan came on the heels of December's bipartisan deal to provide a down payment on long-term economic relief for working families. So that's the $900 billion I imagine he's talking about. Congress should first finish the job of expeditiously passing the American Rescue Plan. Da-da-da-da! But American people cannot afford to wait for Congress to act. They will need help, and they need it now. Okay, the American Rescue Plan is this big deal, the $2 trillion thing he wants. That's going to have another $1,400 of stimulus and everything. That's the American Rescue Plan. A lot of other stuff in there. But today, which is the 22nd of January, second day on the job, the president is issuing an executive order that will launch an all-of government effort to provide equitable emergency economic relief to working families, communities, and small businesses across the nation. The actions taken as part of the effort will provide relief to millions of American workers who have lost their jobs and have their hours or wages slashed through no fault of their own. By the way, don't forget, and I was going to do something like this later, but unemployment, the PUA, that's the pandemic unemployment. That's different than your father's unemployment, the regular unemployment, the PUA. You could get that unemployment if you're just they reduced your hours, so you don't have to be like out of a job. You were working 40 hours, now it's down to 20 or something. You get unemployment, and it doesn't have to be a regular wage job. You could be a Uber driver or a daycare worker or something. Just helping families with daycare or something like that. So all kind of work. So just go to your unemployment office, apply, no matter what the heck you do, even if you're just caring for people at home. And there's money for that too. They will help. Okay. The actions taken as part of this effort will provide relief to millions of American workers who have lost their jobs and had their hours or wages slashed through no fault of their own. They will help working families feed their children and keep the roof over the head. They will help ensure the unemployed Americans no longer have to choose between paying bills and keeping themselves and their families safe from COVID by clarifying that workers who refuse unsafe working conditions can still receive unemployment insurance. You hear that? So if they say, okay, you got to come back to work, you go, hey, they're not doing no social distancing or no mask, all this kind of stuff. I don't want to work here. Well, you could still stay on unemployment, even if the employer says, oh no, you got to come and work. No, man, you don't have to. So they're going to be on your side for that. And they will help more unemployed workers pay for training and college so they can find better jobs and succeed in the increasingly competitive job market. So the training and college, this is in the bigger act that's coming down. I don't think this is in the American Unemployment Act, because in the what's in their current. So that has to be something that's going to be in the new stuff. Let's see. The actions taken as part of this effort will relieve millions. The president today, well, he's talking about that. So if that's there, it's going to be at your career one stop. Okay. That's what I mean. There's a lot of this stuff that's a little unsure what's there. Receive unemployment insurance, and they will help more. Well, he's going to do something. Here's what the government, what he signed today is going to have the government do: address the growing hunger crisis facing 29 million Americans, as many as 12 million children, by asking the Department of Agriculture to consider expanding and extending federal nutrition assistance program. Now, I think there's a handful of programs the Department of Agriculture has for people who need food, and he's going to expand that. Okay, so if you're food sensitive, you want to go, and how do you find out about that? Well, you always call your elected official. The other thing is because this is Department of Agriculture, the people who would know about this locally would be your agriculture people, which is your county cooperative extension service. Get that? County cooperative extension service. They're probably the closest to the programs that would know about this. So because your other people in the state government, local governments, they may not know, but see, it's coming from agriculture. So who in agriculture has to know about these to tell people? That would be your county cooperative extension service. They're local. They're in every county, hence the name, that help people know what is available to them. And they handle all the food programs. Okay, now here, there's another effort they're trying. Ensure equitable and effective delivery of direct payments by asking, listen to this, the Treasury Department to consider changing its delivery structure and focus on getting relief to the 8 million Americans who still not have received their financial assistance from the first stimulus program. 8 million people still waiting for checks. Okay. That was what was that? $1,200? Yeah. $1,200. They're still waiting for that thing. And then the $600, I was talking to my sister today. She didn't get hers yet, but that's only a week. So, I mean, that's understandable, but there's 8 million from the first one. So, man, that's a lot of money, right? So he's saying, hey, figure that out. So he's going there and putting the muscle on them at Treasury, because it comes from the IRS. That's the Department of Treasury. So he's saying they have to do that. So now you have, so if you still don't have it and you don't know what the hell to do, that way you can go to your elected official, your congressmen, senators. You have 2 senators and congressmen. Hey, you see that directive that Biden came out with? He wants a Treasury to get my money. Where the hell is it? I still don't have it. Okay. Here's another one he's doing. Helping approximately 2 million veterans maintain their financial footing by asking the Department of Veterans Affairs to consider pausing federal collections on overpayments and debts. Okay, so that means the Veterans Department is collecting money from people who owe them money. People have been overpaid or they have debts for some reason. I don't know why you have a veteran debt, but who knows? So they have debts. Veterans have debts with the Department of Veterans. He's saying, don't collect that debt. So that has to. So if you're a veteran out there and you're paying off a debt, don't do it anymore. And you don't know what the hell to do, you call your elected official because nobody's telling you what to do yet. So you want to know quickly, then do that. Okay, here's another one they have. Ensure that unemployed Americans no longer have to choose between paying their bills and keeping themselves and their families safe from the COVID-19. And he wants to do this by asking Department of Labor to consider clarifying that workers who refuse unsafe working conditions can still receive unemployment insurance. Okay, you hear that? So you say, hey, that place is dangerous. We're working, shoulder to shoulder, no mask, no nothing, no guards. Now, hey, this is dangerous. I'm going to wind up and I have high blood pressure. And this is not, I don't have a pretty good chance of it. Okay, you don't have to go to work. Okay, that's what they're saying. Okay, now how does your boss know? He's not going to know for a while, right? How do you get protection? Okay, their Department of Labor has to make that rule to tell your local Department of Labor in the state that hands out the unemployment money to be able to give you money. What I would do is warn your employer if you so empowered, or at least call your elected official. Call your elected official, say, hey, how do I keep up on when this is so I don't have to go to work? I worry about going to work or whatever. That's the best I can think of right now, okay? So that's if you're afraid you're going to get COVID by going to work because their boss ain't doing much. Okay, here's another one. Enable effective and equitable distribution of government assistance by establishing an interagency benefit coordination structure. There goes my business. He's going to start an interagency benefit coordination structure. Well, I love to see it. I'm not teasing it. I mean, anything the government does is fine. I'm sure there's a lot of problems we all could work on. And if they're going to take one over, that's terrific. They should be doing all of it. I should not be in business. This is the truth. The government should be doing this well enough to let people know what the heck they have. Okay, here's another. While additional congressional action is urgently needed to help working families through the remainder of the crisis, these emergency measures are important steps to give millions of Americans real relief during the pandemic. This executive order, combined with the president's historic relief package and forthcoming jobs package, so we have a relief package, that's $2 trillion. Then he has a job package he hopes to do. I don't know how big that is. Will help Americans persevere through the pandemic and lay the foundation for a strong and equitable economy. The president is also recommending immediate action to improve wages, benefits, and bargaining rights of federal workers and contractors. So that's why up there when we were trying to talk about, where's the money for training and jobs, I said, well, your career one stop, they still have so much money there people don't know about. But that's where he's going to push it originally. And I think he was talking about the future program in that earlier paragraph. Okay, here. COVID economic relief executive order. Da-da-da! Okay, here it is. Addresses the growing hunger crisis among 29 million adults and as many as 12 million children. So we have, almost 30 million adults and 12 million children are hungry in this country. Wow. And the rest of us are fat. I mean, it's incredible. A country, the richest country in the world, I guess we still are, is people going hungry. 1 in 7 households and more than 1 in 5 Black and Latino households report that their household is struggling to secure food they need. Gosh. Okay, in December last month, Congress bolstered the food assistance program, provide new funding for food banks and school and child care meals. But these measures alone will not solve the growing hunger crisis in America. As part of his American Rescue Plan, that's something coming, proposal, President Biden is calling on Congress to provide additional support to ensure that all Americans, regardless of background, have access to healthy, affordable groceries by extending 15% supplemental nutritional assistance program, SNAP, benefit increase, investing $3 billion to help women, infants, and children get food they need, and other key steps. The president is also asking for the Agriculture Department consider taking the following steps to provide nutrition assistance to working families, including, okay, so the next couple of things here. And by the way, I'll put the link in the description so you get the link of this, read it yourself, and then yell at me where the hell I got wrong. Hey, you said this wrong. This isn't right. I make a lot of mistakes, man. At my age, what I sort of feel I need. You ever see a parade, with elephants and all this kind of? And there's a guy at the end of the parade with a broom with all the elephant poop that he's sweeping up. That's what I need when I talk. Somebody in the back go by and sweep up all the poop. Giving up. Okay, allow emergency. That's food assistance. Food assistance. Look at that if that's important for you. Okay, here. Ensure equitable and effective delivery of direct payments that we talked about before. How are we going to get this? Okay. As the president fights to get Americans the full $2,000 in direct payments they deserve, the administration is also working to ensure all those who are eligible receive full payments. Many Americans face challenges receiving the first round of direct payments, and many as 8 million eligible households did not receive their direct payments in March. In December, Congress passed other legislation that would provide Americans with $600 in stimulus. So that's the 14 and the 6. That's what he means. The president's American Rescue Plan, which is the new one coming, proposed an additional $1,400 payments to ensure that households get the support they need and to put food on the table, support small businesses and their communities. While Treasury and career staff of the IRS have worked tirelessly to deliver 2 rounds of payments in the midst of the pandemic, the work is far from over. To ensure equitable and effective delivery of payments, of direct payments, and focus on getting relief to individuals who have not received the financial assistance which they are entitled, the president is making the Department of Treasury to consider taking a series of actions to expand and improve the delivery of economic payments, including establishing online tools for claiming their payments, working to ensure that those who have not accessed their funds get the relief they deserve, and analyzing unserved households to inform additional outreach efforts. See, a lot of money. What is it? 8 million people didn't get that first $1,200. Then how many didn't get the $600 yet? So he's going to try to build a system at Treasury Department. That's where the IRS comes from. And so they're trying to build this up. So they have a one-stop, hey, where's my check or whatever? Guarantee that no American can choose between paying. We talked about that. Help families and small business relief sources quickly, equitable through coordinated benefits. We talked about that. That's that one stop for all your benefits, which I'd love to see and will put me out of business. Protecting and empowering federal workers and contractors. What he's suggesting, he wants contractors and even government employees to pay $15 an hour as a minimum wage. I'm not sure if that, it says here, promotes $15 minimum wage. The executive order directs Office of Personnel Management, that's the employee people, and human resources for government is called the Office of Personnel Management, to develop recommendations to pay more federal employees at least $15 an hour. See, that means more and at least. And so that's a little fuzzy, but it's something to watch. But I think contractors are a little more. Estimates that restores a collective bar. Oh, I know that's Trump took out some collective bargaining. People that were unionized and stuff. It goes further to direct agencies to to bargain over permissible non-mandatory subjects of bargaining when contracts are up for negotiation. So he's putting in the, a pro bargaining things, and this is for federal employees. So how do you like that? Biden bucks. It looks like this guy's going to try to do it. How much he gets through the Senate and the House. Just keep watching. I mean, what to do is get on your senators and congressmen's email list. Get on the White House emails list. Find out about this stuff that's going on. It looks like he's going to be marketing this a lot, to let the government know. So how do you find out? Let's see. Common cause. Oh, you have to spell common. Common cause, find your representative. Okay, that's what you want to do. Common cause, find your representative. It's hard to call the White. Actually, it isn't hard. It's just hard to get any action from them. So you go commoncause.org, find your representative, put your address, and you get them email address, websites, and everything of your 2 senators and congressmen. See, all the federal stuff comes from them. When you have a state problem, like on your unemployment benefits, you can't get it or something, then that's a time maybe you could dip down to the state elected officials. It may even be better. And if the feds don't work, then you go to your state. What the hell? They'll work with anything. All these people, don't forget, are there to work for you. You see the video I just did earlier today about Biden telling all the people, new people he's hiring, hey, we work for the people. The people pay our salary. Be nice to everybody. And if you're not, I'm going to fire you. See, now to me, wow, that's saying, if a bureaucrat is mean to you and won't give you the grant you want, you get him fired. Just call Joe. He'll fire him for you. But actually, there's more to it than that, because bureaucrats all work by paper. So if you put in a bad letter or recommendation or something, that affects them, but also a good. So people be extra nice. Like I get a lot of Let's Go Help members calling about how people are calling them back, giving them their home phone number, their private number, so they can help them better and stuff like that. Well, that you want to call their supervisor or where to send a letter that person is so good. And so if they're really nasty to you, you send a letter that person's so bad. That'll work the same way, just in a negative way. So you have power in this because you are a voter. They do work for you. It doesn't seem that way some way, but they do. And that's the important thing. Okay. Talk to you soon. It's going to be fun.